Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Henrietta Osunde, the head animator of the Holy Child Association, St. Paul Catholic Church, Airport Road, Benin City.
Thank you, ma. You're welcome, ma.
Yeah.
Now we're here to talk about the life of Vivian Ogu.
Okay.
Do you know Vivian Ogu, ma?
Quite well, quite well.
So who was Vivian Ogu?
She was one of the little ones that I brought up as in the HCA and then also in the catechism classes when she went for her First Holy Communion class. We got to know her when she was about 2, 3 years old. And then she was always tagging along with her older sister Grace. First in the charismatic because I was there earlier before I stopped. And then we had this children's section where the kids are taken out of the main church, and then so we had the children's section, not HCA then, so just Sunday. We're calling Sunday school. And so you find that she was one of those normal but active, always all over the place, just wanting to do one thing or the other. Even for her age, she wanted to be part of everything. So the more she could do, we tried to involve her. Sometimes we'll have, when it's time for what's called now, Children Day celebration, we move into the main church. You find Vivian wanting to do one thing or the other. At about 5, 6, she could read.
Oh,
So you will involve her in some of the readings. And then when she was 7, she became quite active in the choir and the readings. Children's Day, you take the readings, you take the prayer of the faithful. She was quite active then.
wow.
Then at 7, 8, we had a choir master who wasn't really very active. So when she noticed he wasn't very active, nobody asked her. She just stepped in. And then at the time she took over, we had just choristers, about 20 of them. But we find that because of the way she carried herself, she had this energy. She wanted to do everything. And we find that she always smiling. People started coming to join the choir. She would drag her friends from the Legion, drag them. And then before you knew it, Sunday school had 40 children. And then the first time we had Christmas carol in the church, she wanted to conduct. And we find she conducted. And the way she carried herself and the choir, it was so, so nice at the end that for the first time, the church recognized that children could do so much. And then we had Father JJ Onolememe, and we told him we wanted to do Christmas because in the main church, the choristers usually go out from house to house to do Christmas carol. But we told him we wanted to do Christmas carol. And then he got involved. I think he has a tip, he got involved. And then before you know it, for the first time in St. Paul's, the children organized 9 lessons and carols. And after that one, Father had to challenge the main choir. And look at the kids. That's what they are doing. Now you are going out to do their own. So because of what they did, the main choir took over. And then we now became guests. The Nazareth featured as guests. At the age of 9, 11, 9, 10, we had, I think, Easter Cantata by ABS, organized by ABS. They featured us. We had another Christmas carol by ABS. They featured the children again. And then this time around, the choir master then had completely vanished. He was actually demoralized by the way Vivian went about it, so he couldn't even cope with her. So he had to step aside. And then that's how Vivian continued with the way the children were, activities in the church. Because I was busy in the office most times because my schedule changed. I don't know how she did it. She just stepped in. And you just find I'll be in the office, my phone ring. Vivian, auntie, we are doing this. How do I manage it? I'll just tell her, I say, okay. Vivian, and so became more like their mother. Even the older ones saw her as their mother. And so you see, she had this motherly thing about her. So that's how Vivian was all over the place, doing one thing or the other. And Fridays was her days, her day actually. They arranged quietly without it because if I had known, I wouldn't have allowed it. They did this mortification. She introduced it, that they need to, not just for herself and her group. She now kept on saying for children all over the world who have nothing to eat, nothing to wear, no home, nothing. They give up this thing, they mortify themselves by giving up little things for the sake of these other children. No, by 2007, they had already introduced HCA into St. Paul's. So our own Sunday school, we just evolved to HCA. And so we carried on that way. And then you had Vivian automatically becoming the president of the HCA and the choir mistress of the choir. This time we were about 60 from 20. See the way she did in 2 years. We had gotten to 60. Okay.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot. Now, with all this, what are the virtues you admire most in her life when she was alive?
That is quite a lot. For one so young, admire her. There's this purity about her. She's just pure. And you find that she found it difficult to believe people could think evil. She is just, because it's not in her nature. So she assumed everybody's supposed to be like this. And so when she encounters people who exhibit this other side, it was a bit difficult for her to take it in. And so you find she kept on asking questions. Until, why are people like this? Why this? Why that? How come this thing happened? How come that? That's one. Then this diligence about duty. There was a day we were going for Children's Day, and in St. Paul's, we usually celebrate others. So that was the idea. We go out to reach out to others instead of celebrating ourselves. The animators were out trying to gather materials we're going to give out at Central Hospital and all that. And she was left alone with the younger ones. I came back and I found every one of them kneeling down, taking the rosary. Like, everyone was quiet. For one who was about 10, 11, controlling such number of children. And what were they doing? They're taking the rosary, praying for other children in the world who are not able to celebrate and enjoy Children's Day. And then you have this humility about her. She's very, very, very humble. Very, very humble. Even with the fact that she was, at her age, HG president, she didn't have this pride and arrogance. She was just humble. And then she's very charitable. Sometimes at Mass, they are doing offering. And she would notice that there's someone close by her without anything to offer. You will see her going around trying to look for change. She will break what he has into little denominations, and then she'll quietly give to everybody. Let's all go out and do offering. And then discipline was her number one rule. So to have a choir that was disciplined, she went all out and gave us a first, what's it called now? This thing that you write out and constitution. She wrote it out, and number one was discipline, because she kept on saying, if we are not disciplined, we cannot achieve anything. And then whatever assignment you give her, she does not believe in mediocrity or anything. She goes all out to ensure it's properly done. Now, I said earlier that because of my schedule in the office, I couldn't do much. The first competition we went for, I wasn't available. But we found Vivian selected those to represent the parish. And this book is usually this huge that they needed to study and put in their head. She prepared them. She took them down to the competition with catechist, and they came back, they came second. And I'm like, this young girl, I'm not sure I could have been able to do it, but somehow she was able to do it. And then we came top. So quite a lot of things about her, but those ones, they stood out. They stood out.
Thank you, ma'am. Just to make sure, can I check your mic?
Okay.
If you stay down. Okay, because we can continue. Now, thank you, ma'am. Talking about Vivian and her virtues, in particular in terms of purity and virginity,
Yeah.
what will you say about Vivian's stand on purity and virginity?
Vivian was like I said earlier, like any other child. But there are some things she definitely, there are no-go areas, and that's virginity and then purity. She believes so much in this that when she was trying to teach the other children, she almost more like opened their brain and put it inside. I mean, this is very important. This is key. You cannot let God down. This is who you are. And then when Mona came to holy child, she kept on saying, holy, 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 child, holy. So you need to be holy at all times. Especially when she now got to know by Mariah graduation was then more like her age group, age mate. Oh no, so if this young girl could do it, and so how come we can't also do it? So she held so much to onto that her belief about purity and virginity. And even the crop of those who took after her, because when she became 14, she stepped aside and another set had to take in. She tutored them so well that one got married recently, and the husband was like, wow, my wife was a virgin. Do you understand? And so that's how much impact she made on them. We lost Stella recently, last year, when she had an accident. And then the doctor that was attending to her broke down in tears because they were trying to fix the catheter. And she was like, this age, 20-year-old girl, still a virgin. That's how much impact. Because these are the ones, I think, the last set of people she tutored, she mentored. And they held on to that belief that they will not let Vivian down. That's been their lifestyle. Vivian will not be disappointed in us since she passed on. So that's how much of an impact she had on them.
That is a very big impact.
Yes.
Now, with this, will you say that the church contributed to Vivia's stand on purity and virginity?
I would definitely say yes. Yes, the parents started the process, but the church took it up from there and then finalized, fine-tuned the whole thing by teachings and the expositions that we made to say. Fine, we told them about lives of saints, Maria Goretti and all that. But for Vivian, it became more real, more alive when Father Dombe gave us a video clip on the life of Vivian. So no, it's one thing to hear about it, but another thing to now watch and then it becomes real. And so ever since she watched the video, no, her slogan had been Margaret or no other. And then she knew about Lucy and all those other ones, but Margaret was key. And then some of the things we took them on excursions to see things. So with all the things she saw, the last one she saw was Tansy. And so when we went on it, she saw Tansy, like, this man lived a holy life, and that's why he was preserved. And so she wanted also to be like Margaret, and we told them quite a lot of things. So I think the church played a big role. And if the church continues, especially with materials to help to train the children, I don't think we'll have issues. We won't have issues. They did
Talking
well.
about continuity, will you say that virginity and chastity, that is purity right now, is still valued in this contemporary time?
Well, it's a yes thing for me, but for most other, it's actually a no. When you consider the society that we live in, if you tell the world that you are still a virgin, they're like, hello, you know. But and then you look at the things you watch on TV, the the kind of music they listen to, it's a bit of a challenge for the younger ones, younger generation. But I think it is still possible. I just told about Stella, she just died. And she held on to it. And we have quite a lot of them. One just got married last year, Chinwe. The husband had testified to the fact that she was also a virgin. So they are not able to say publicly because of fear of being named. They call us Maria Maka. They are unable to. But I tell them, I encourage them, it's better to be Maria Maka than to be seen as the other one. And so, yes, it's still possible, and we can do it. We can. We can.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, do you consider Vivian's death as an act of martyrdom, considering the way she
Um,
died?
well, I would say yes. The church says if you lay down your life for your faith and your belief, it's martyrdom. And she refused to be raped because she believes in being pure and everything. So I'll say yes, it's an act of martyrdom. Martyrdom, sorry.
Okay.
Therefore, I believe.
Is there any other